mind was more alert and aware when you're hungry. Well, I can say from personal experience, this might not just be a feeling. So one of the most mentally engaging things I enjoy doing is playing chess. I enjoy the use of strategy, and I enjoy trying to develop counters to my opponent's strategies. Because of how mentally engaging this activity is, you can pretty easily feel about how well you're performing. During the 2024 Litchfield Chess Tournament, I performed at my best, where I also learned that not everything that seems like a disadvantage actually is one. So, back when I was 8 years old, my father taught me how to play chess. I had no natural affinity for it, but I appreciated the fact that it allowed me to think strategically, which wasn't something I could easily do with other activities that were available to me. During elementary school, some of the staff members had started a chess club, and then since I was already familiar with chess and knew that I liked playing it, I figured that I ought to show up to some of the lessons. The staff members used chess.com to aid in giving the lessons. I never actually paid attention to any of the lessons. I stared at the wall blankly, waiting for them to stop talking so that we could then play chess with whoever we wanted. The thing I remember most relating to chess from elementary school was the annual tournaments that took place, where I never scored higher than 2.5 points out of 5, which equates to 2 wins, a tie, and 2 losses. Pretty unremarkable. But unfortunately, once I got to middle school, there was no longer a chess club available, and I had never heard of any chess tournaments taking place, so I more or less forgot about the game all the way up until sophomore year of high school, where in my study hall that alternated with band class, there was a chessboard in the form of a mat that was taped to a table in front of the classroom and had a full set of plastic chess pieces with it. A few of the students in that class and I, since it occurred at the start of the day and there wasn't really much work to do, we would spend the entire hour just playing chess. Then second semester rolled around and some of my friends and I were moved to Mavencamp's study hall, where there was no chessboard taped to a table, so some of my friends and I would just pass an iPad back and forth playing chess on Google. Not as good, but it still worked. Eventually, those friends and I started going to Cato's classroom to play chess during that hour, since he had actual chessboards and did not have any class during that time. Not too long later, then Mr. Cato and Hayes started a chess club that met once a week during the second half of flex period, and it wasn't much, but at least it kept chess in my mind and in my focus. Then eventually I started noticing posters in the school hallways advertising a chess tournament that would be taking place in the elementary school. Since it had been a long time since I had competed in one and thought that it'd be fun, I figured that I should probably go. Then leading up to the tournament, I had done no preparation. I had studied no moves, no positions, no strategies, nothing. Maybe I played a game or two that week before, but there wasn't much. The day of the tournament, I had not gotten a lot of sleep, and I hadn't eaten anything. So I was on a completely empty stomach. Initially, I thought this was going to be a problem, but as the day went on, I noticed that I was much more alert, and my mind was much clearer than it normally would be. Whether or not that has anything to do with having not eaten, I'm not sure, but I like to think that it does. So then, first round of the tournament takes place, and I lose. To this day, I'm not sure how I managed to lose. I've looked back at the moves that took place, and I have no idea when the game turned against me. All I know is that I lost. Because I lost the first round, I was ranked really low, so that meant that my next 2 games were against low-ranked opponents, and I was able to win both of them relatively easily. 4th round, my opponent was someone who I knew was much better at chess than I was, so I decided to try a new strategy, and that strategy was delay as much as possible, do basically nothing the whole game. It somehow managed to work. I was able to counter some of the developments that my opponent was trying to do without actually putting any of my pieces in risk. And eventually I was able to win that round by my opponent resigning. Then the 5th round, thought was going to be even more difficult because my opponent was someone who I recognized to have been able to win one of the elementary school tournaments perfectly. No losses, no ties. So I stuck with the same strategy, delayed it even more, and again I was able to win. Then after the 5th round, there was a 3-way tie for first place, each person having 4 points out of 5, and the algorithm that was supposed to break the tie then noticed that I had beaten one of the people I was tied with, which then gave me favor to take first place in the tournament. My victory in the chess tournament showed me that not everything that seems disadvantageous truly is. My name is Michael Culp, and this was when I was at my best. Thank you for listening to my speech.